Jared from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania asks, how do I sell without being salesy and awkward? If you're uncomfortable with sales, it means one of two things. You have a communication problem or you have a belief problem. And so in today's episode, I'm going to help you navigate both of these. If you have a communication problem, I'm going to tell you what to say and what not to say so you don't come across as salesy or pushy. The number one mistake small business owners make when it comes to marketing and sales is that they talk to their customers about the wrong things and in the wrong way. And I'm also going to give you a specific exercise to implement this strategy for your business, as well as point you in the right direction for further sales strategy development. Now, if you have a belief problem, well, I'm going to help you with that too. And I'm going to help you identify the root cause of your sales-related struggles and get you on the right path so you can start experiencing success. This is How to Sell Without Being Salesy, right here in this edition of the Lemonade Maker Live Show. In my book, Lemonade Maker, I share 101 of the best strategies I use to overcome desperation and poverty and turn my last $30 into an 8-figure national franchise empire. And I did that in less than 10 years without startup capital, funding, or investors, and without taking on any debt. Lemonade Maker is a book about innovation and strategy. One of my reviewers wrote this book has a ton of great ideas and things you would never think of on your own. And so on that note, as it pertains to sales and not being salesy, we're going to jump to page 90 of Lemonade Maker. And this is Lemonology strategy number 27, transferring invisible beliefs. I was a professional artist and professional dancer. And so the company that I built was a dance and production company. It started off in a teeny backroom closet. And very quickly, I scaled it to a very profitable business with locations all across the country, over 50 employees, and millions of dollars of revenue coming in. And so in all of that, I had to create a very robust training system, right? I had to constantly train and develop new professional dance instructors to work in my company to teach dance lessons. And I also had to train them on how to properly communicate our services, and because that was a big part of our system. And so one of the things that was always really funny with our trainees after they started to learn how we did things, we had a unique method. Well, what they would say to me was, wait, we don't sell dance lessons? And I would always reply, well, no, actually, we don't sell dance lessons. We sell romance to couples. We sell confidence to singles. We sell a sense of accomplishment to teens. You'll starve to death if you sell dance lessons because nobody actually wants to buy dance lessons. I would go on to tell our trainees all of the amazing things we do, our beautiful studios, the lights, the music, the magical ambiance, our relentless attention to detail. All of those things are behind the scenes logistics that help to create the overall experience of what we were doing. They all help to set the scene. And while all of those things are crucial to our success, they kind of operated in the background and they weren't really the primary focus of what we sold. They helped us sell what we sold. But what we actually sold was the invisible emotional reaction our customers experienced in the dance studio, on the dance floor while they were dancing, and also in their lives outside of the dance studio because of the transformation that we helped them experience. And so what I would tell our trainees is that if your pitch for a prospect to take dance lessons from us is because our studio is really pretty or because we're really good dancers, then, well, we're in really big trouble. People do not spend thousands of dollars to take dance lessons, but they absolutely spend thousands of dollars to have a happy marriage. Husbands will absolutely spend thousands of dollars to have their wife smile at them when they're dancing together instead of their wife being annoyed, distant, or rolling her eyes at him because they don't have any connection anymore and she doesn't really like him anymore. And so that's the concept that we would teach our trainees. As salespeople, though, we often focus too much on logistics and not enough on benefits, result, and problem solved. It's easy to forget that our customers are seeking our products and services to make their lives better, not necessarily to have the product or service in and of itself. So if what you say is relevant to your customers and it resonates with them, they're going to listen to you and they're going to be attentive to what you have to say. But if what you say is not relevant to them, then you're going to get tuned out. So if we talked about these things, look at what amazing dancers we are. Look at how great our studio is. Isn't it beautiful? Look at our sound system. It's state of the art. Look at how amazing we are at teaching. All of those things were important, don't get me wrong, but they weren't the driving force behind what our customers were actually looking for. So here's a quick list of what to say and what not to say when talking about your services or products. First off, you want to talk about them. You don't want to talk about yourself and all of your credentials and how great you are. Even if you are amazing, let those things speak for themselves. Instead, focus your conversation and your communication on your customer. You want to talk about the results they want and the things that they're looking for that's going to make their lives better. Don't talk about your processes and all the logistics of how you do what you do. Professionals fall into this trap all the time. Here's my process. First, we're going to set you up on a consultation, and then we're going to give you an evaluation, and then you're going to do this thing and then that thing. Forget all of that. You want to talk to them about their problems and the things that they're struggling with that you can help them resolve. You don't want to talk about all your programs and all your different packages that you offer and all the things they can sign up for. None of that matters to them. And lastly, you don't want to use industry jargon. A lot of professionals use industry terms to make them sound smart, but all that does is confuse your customer. And when a customer is confused or uncertain, if they feel uncertain about what you're saying, well, that's when you get the, I have to think about it, objection. But when you start talking about them, the results they want and the problems they have, you're going to get their attention and they're going to be interested in hearing what you have to say. And when that happens, you're going to be way more confident to present your offer because they're actually listening to you. And it's also going to lead to you getting paid what you're worth. On the other hand, if you've been yapping about yourself the whole time, you're going to sense that they're not really interested and they're going to start to tune you out. And that's where the objections start to come in. And then when that happens, you start offering discounts and deals to try to salvage the sale because you know when you're losing it. You can tell when it's slipping through your fingers. And now you come across as desperate and salesy and insecure. That's the last thing that you want. And so what you say and how you say it matters. It's really important. It makes a huge difference. Here's a good thing to remember. This is called WIIFM. It stands for what's in it for me. This is how your customer thinks, right? What's in it for your customer? Customers don't care about deliverables. They care about results. So if you want to sell without coming across as salesy, then stop selling deliverables. Here's a chart outlining the different types of customers we served in my dance business. As you can see, the categories along the top, the columns here, these are the things you want to think about. Customer pains, what your customers don't want, customer gains, and finally, unspoken gains. These are the things they really want, but maybe they're not going to tell you about those things. Well, I've already talked about this first row. Disconnected spouses don't want to go to marriage counseling. Instead, we wanted them to come to our studio so they could have romantic dance lesson experiences that would help them rekindle the romance in their marriage. And the unspoken gain was that dancing with us improved their intimacy and their happiness as a couple, and it did all of those things. And so you can use this chart too to help you with your business. When you fill this out, avoid listing logistics and programs and packages. Only talk about the benefits and results your customers are going to get. Once you do that, the next step is to communicate these ideas into conversations that you and your staff can have with your customers. Here's an example of how I converted these ideas into an advertisement script or training narrative that helped my staff and my trainees think differently and think along the right ways that I wanted them to think. Feeling disconnected from your spouse? Is there tension in your relationship that didn't used to be there? Do you miss the joy and happiness you once shared, but the thought of marriage counseling makes you cringe? Rekindle the romance today and bring back the intimacy you've been longing for here at Planet Ballroom Dance Studio. Have fun again, laugh together, smile. Take the first step toward rediscovering your love for each other by calling us today to schedule a complimentary first visit to our studio. Harvard marketing professor Theodore Levitt was famous for saying, "Sell the whole, not the drill." The point he was making was the same point that I'm making here. Customers don't care about your products, services, or processes. They care about the results or the benefits they're going to get that you're going to help give them. But I would take this concept one step, actually 2 or 3 steps further. I would argue that people don't really want a whole either. What they want is a whole that's going to give them a picture. And they don't even really want that picture on the wall. It's the feelings that picture brings them. Special life memories they relive every time they look at that picture that's hanging on the wall. That's the real reason they bought the drill. The drill to get the hole to hang the picture, and the picture with the memories is the real thing that they're looking for. So if you want to help people forever remember special life memories that touch their heart, well, sell them a drill. And this brings me to the second problem you might be having with sales, and that's a belief problem. You have to ask yourself a few questions. Do you really believe in what you're selling? Do you really believe your product or service is going to make your customers' lives better? Will your product or service positively transform your customers' lives in some meaningful way? Look, I never considered myself great at sales, but what I was really good at doing was communicating, saying the right thing in the right way at the right time. And I was also really good at transferring the things that I believed in, the things I thought were important and mattered. Well, I was really good at transferring those ideas to my customers and also to my staff and later to my franchisees. I truly believed in what I was doing. My customers' lives were transformed in profound ways because of the services I was providing in my company. I witnessed the transformation firsthand every day with thousands of customers in all of our locations. The couples that came into our studio to learn to dance together, well, their marriages were vastly transformed and improved because of what we were doing. People accomplished things they never thought possible because of the services that we were delivering and providing them. We made people feel confident and beautiful and graceful. And our success was demonstrated not only by the customers and what they had to say about us and all the positive things, but also the numbers. Look, numbers don't lie. My company processed between 8,000 and 10,000 sales transactions each year. And each of those sales transactions ranged between $250 and $1,200. Those are remarkable numbers. And all of that was accomplished because I truly believed in something amazing. And I was able to transfer and communicate those beliefs and transfer those ideas to other people, to our customers, so they could experience those amazing benefits and have those benefits in their lives also. And so the trick to being good at sales and not being salesy is you have to become an exceptional communicator and say the right things the right way. And you have to be genuine and believe in what you're doing. And you have to focus on what matters to your customers. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. My name is Thomas. This has been the Lemonade Maker Live Show. If you had fun or learned anything new that's going to help you make your business better, then do me a favor and subscribe to this channel, like, share, and comment. All that stuff really helps me out. Special thanks goes out to our Lemonade Maker members. Every episode is dedicated to you guys, and I can't thank you enough for being a part of our awesome business and marketing strategy program. If you're an entrepreneur and you want to improve your business aptitude and learn more about things like sales strategy, how to be genuine when talking to customers, or other topics like marketing, communications, technology, innovative ideas, public speaking, leadership, if improving your CEO skills is important to you, then consider becoming a member of my Lemonade Maker Entrepreneur Masterminds. As a member, you can expect fresh ideas and new perspectives, cutting-edge, actionable business and marketing strategies, and an engaging community of fellow entrepreneurs to help you on your journey to the top. You're going to get invaluable training from those who have gone before you, plus critical feedback and alternative perspectives from fellow members. It's an amazing community and one that every business owner should be a part of. Look, being alone as an entrepreneur is a losing proposition. Not only that, it's just not as much fun. So click the link that you find in this channel's header to explore membership and see if joining my Entrepreneur Mastermind is the right move for you and your business. You can also find that link down below in this episode's description, and also it's there in the comments. Also in that link, you can grab a copy of my book, Lemonade Maker, The Entrepreneur's Guide to Overcoming the Impossible. Lemonade Maker features 101 Lemonology strategies for success, my 4 origins of innovation, and 9 crazy character case studies to avoid. It's the best kept secret in business. You don't want to miss it. And lastly, if you'd like to be featured right here in an upcoming episode of the Lemonade Maker Live Show, use that same link and you'll see a button there that you can click to send us your question. Anything you want to know about, as long as it pertains to business, marketing, or the entrepreneur lifestyle, just send in your question and there's a good chance you're going to get featured on an upcoming episode right here. Well, that's going to do it for today. Until next time, remember, life gives entrepreneurs an extra dose of lemons. Fight back with Lemonade Maker strategies and turn your biggest challenges into your greatest successes. I'll see you next time.